Hey guys, it's EDDBUD. I'm back with a video discussing running shoes sizing. So after wearing and testing loads and loads of different makes and models of running shoe over the last 2 years, I've always been intrigued by the variation in sizes between each of the manufacturers and the discrepancies within their sizing guides. Before we get into the main part of the video, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications of when new videos are launched. And give this video a like. So finished off this week's training with 10 miles in the New Balance Fuelcell TC. Really loving this shoe today. Hit about 7 minutes 25 seconds per mile. That run today was 10 miles, 1 mile at kind of an easier sort of recovery pace, and then a mile on at something towards my half marathon target pace. Times out by 5 and you got the run. These performed exceptionally well today. I got out relatively early in the morning to avoid the warm weather we've got back again now. It's reappeared. So really happy with the 50 miles this week. Legs were feeling really great at the end, could have carried on, but I had in my mind that Mrs. EDDBUD was cooking up a Bakewell tart at home, so I wanted to get back and sample that. On to the main subject of the day though, which is the discrepancies in running shoe sizing. Some makes seem to run a little long, some a little short, some very narrow, and some very wide. One problem that constantly perplexes me is the fact that pretty much all of us have got one foot slightly longer than the other. There are never any options to like order a left in an 11 and a right shoe in a 11.5. You just don't get that option. I know that some people out there have got quite vastly different size feet, and that must cause a real conundrum to them. What do they do, you know, with these other shoes? Do they buy 2 pairs? I don't know. We all buy running shoes, but a lot of us these days opt to buy them online. So that's quite a convenient option. They can arrive straight to your door. Recently it's been the same DPD delivery guy, like every few days or something, and he's pretty sure he knows what he's delivering. Though buying online is tainted with risk a little bit, there's that danger. Nobody wants to open up their fresh new running shoe box with those new gleaming dream machines to lace them up only for them to be the wrong size. There's nothing more disappointing than that, I think you'll agree. Well, there probably are more disappointing things in life, of course there are. But for us runners and shoe geeks, that really takes the biscuit. So I measured up both of my feet using a few different methods, and all of them pretty much came to the same conclusion, that my right foot's very slightly longer than my left. This kind of made a lot of sense to me actually when I thought about it. Quite often I feel that the right foot doesn't have quite as much room. There's certain manufacturers where I've placed my foot into the shoe and suddenly realised, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't anywhere near as comfortable as the left. So the right foot is approximately 5mm longer than the other, but I mean that might not seem like an awful lot, but it does seem to make quite a difference in running shoes. Left foot's 28.3cm and the right foot's 28.8cm. In inches that's 11.14 against 11.34. I'm going to go through and discuss some different manufacturers' sizing guides now, so you get an idea for the differences that there are. We've got that Alphafly here. Hopefully some of you will be able to grab this shoe soon. Now Nike quote a size 11 UK to be 28.8cm. Now that's on their size guide online, but when you look at any Nike shoe box, there's a slightly different thing going on. You'll see here on this Infinity Run box that it actually says 30cm for a UK size 11. But if we're taking that 28.8cm measurement as gospel, that means that my right foot's right at the very end of the UK size 11 category, the threshold. I actually opted for a size 11.5 or 11.5 in the Nike Next Percent Hakone edition. That Ekiden version, it just fits so much better in an 11.5 rather than the 11 that I have in the green version of the shoe. I really did benefit from the extra length in the toe box on that shoe. Just way more comfortable in terms of my little toes as well. Just a minor difference really, just a few millimeters, but it actually made all the difference. But thinking about it, the left shoe is then about 9mm too long, or at least there's a load of extra room there in the toe box, which just was unnecessary. What do? Wear a thicker sock, or that would just look odd. People give me odd looks anyway, so if I go around wearing odd socks, it will just be painting a big target of myself. Look, there's the weird tall guy with the shoes and the odd socks. I don't know if it was the fit of the shoe or something, but it just felt so much better with the 11.5. It seems less prevalent in other models though, something like the Pegasus 35, the 36. the 37 when it finally turns up. We'll see whether that fits the same, but those were fine for me in a size 11. Even the Pegasus Turbo, the Peg 35, the Peg Turbo 2, they were all fine with me in a size 11. I'd even say perhaps the Pegasus Turbo 2 I could have sized down maybe half a size. There still would have been ample room in the toe box. This shoe to me seems a little more generous again in terms of size. It's just that little bit longer. I had no problems the other week on that half marathon time trial. In this shoe it was just gold on foot. Actually gold, it would probably hurt a bit if you're running on gold. A beautiful marshmallowy, pillowy like feeling, but with a bit of spring every time when my tired foot hit the bed. It sort of sunk in and I raised back up like a phoenix, like a salmon flying out of the water. Oh man, I need some more of that Bakewell tart. It's very good. Certainly a really forgiving fit in the toe box with this one. I'd certainly recommend if you're going to go for it, hopefully you've gone true to size and not gone up or anything like that. I think true to size is probably going to be spot on with this one. And remember what Michael Barrymore said, you don't want any hot spots. Onto Adidas now. Or as Brad Hall would say, Adidas. I love Brad Hall. That guy's a legend. I just love it. His new video with the Travis Scott collab shoe is just unreal. So for a UK size 11 Adidas, I'm saying now, with a UK size 11, Adidas quotes something very different to Nike. They've got a 28.4 centimetre length on a size 11. So it's about 4mm difference unless you take the other measurement that's on the box. So I tend to opt for an 11.5 in Adidas shoes. They just give me a little bit more room. The 11's just way too tight. In the Takumi Sen, for example, this is quite a tight race shoe anyway. I went up half a size and it's spot on. Certainly they always seem a little more narrow, whether it's the lasts that they're using to create the shoes, I don't know. Their 11.5 is quoted at a 28.8 centimetre length, which is the same as Nike. Well, the same as Nike in a UK size 11. In fact, the Adidas sizing guide quotes a UK 11.5 is the same equivalent as a US size 12. So another nod that you might need to size up half a size if you're going to go for an Adidas shoe. Maybe that's why so many people are against Adidas shoes, I don't know. It does seem odd. You don't seem to see too many people using them in the UK. Maybe the occasional Ultraboost here or there. It's mainly Asics. I think it was the Ultraboost version 4 back in 2018. I think I went up a half size in that as well. In fact, I'm going to check. Yeah, I went up to an 11.5 in this shoe, so I think that's a reoccurring issue. I always go up about half a size in Adidas. So do be careful, make sure you measure up, and both feet too. So have New Balance found the right equilibrium between common sizing issues in other running shoes? So on the New Balance website, at least in the UK, it states a UK size 11 is 29.5 centimetres, but in my experience, I don't believe that. Again, on the box, this one quotes this 11.5 as a 30 centimetre shoe. I just don't know how all this works. I think I'm just going to go on centimetres in the future. Just seems a much better way of doing it. I remember when I first got the Fuelcell Rebel from New Balance, that shoe just was really snug in a size 11. Really wished I could have gone up half a size, but alas, where I bought it, they didn't have any, and they didn't know when they were going to get any. So I would suggest being a little bit careful with New Balance sizing. They do seem to run a little short. This size 11.5 is just dynamite. It's a perfect fit for me. In terms of both feet, actually, it just feels spot on. There's not too much room there. Don't have any issues with slipping or anything like that. You do see a lot of running shoe stores actually recommending that you go up half a size if you're buying a running shoe. I'm not entirely sure that that is a thing. I'm not sure why or what advantage they would have to say that to you, but in my experience, you need to try a shoe and see how it feels. Perhaps as your foot is splayed out a little bit, maybe towards the latter part of the day when you've had a lot of your weight onto your foot. I think that seems like the ideal time to try it. Oddly though, with New Balance, with the Beacon original, I went true to size and that was fine. Although I did go up half a size in the 1080 V10 and that was again spot on. So whether that's changed recently, the Beacon's a slightly older shoe. Of course the TC and the 1080 V10 are quite new and recent shoes. In short, I think you can say that New Balance shoes do run a little bit snug, run a little bit short, and certainly for my 28.3 and 28.8 centimetre feet, certainly the 29.5 centimetres quoted on the sizing guide just doesn't add up. It's just not right. I think it's important to remember though that New Balance do offer several different width fittings. When I did measure up my feet in terms of width, I come in absolutely smack bang on a regular. Asics is different again. All Asics shoes for me have been absolutely spot on in terms of a UK size 11. Asics quote the size 11 at 29.5 centimetres and the 11.5 at 30 centimetres. So you can see my confusion, they're just all different. The Glide Ride, the Evo Ride, the Nova Blast, they've all been spot on for me in a UK size 11. Generous room in the toe box. I mean, we're talking the Ambassador's Reception Ferrero Rocher generosity in terms of toe box room. Sure, some of the older viewers might remember that advert. I've never had any heel slippage or anything in Asics, because you know that upper on the Asics models are going to hug your foot like a Care Bear. Hoka are similar in terms of Asics sizing, but I do find a size 11 UK to be right up there at the threshold of that size. I mean, it says 29.5 centimetres, but I'm not entirely sure that's right. The Rincon did feel quite narrow. There wasn't a huge amount of room in the toe box. The Carbon X was a different story again. That felt quite roomy. Not really sure that going up half a size in the Rincon would have helped matters really. Certainly not in the Carbon X. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of discrepancy between the different manufacturers and models. I haven't covered everybody today, but some of the main ones there. Please do comment below with some of your running shoe sizing quirks. Let us know your experiences in the different makes and models. Perhaps you've had some different experiences to me. That's absolutely fine. It'll be lovely to see some of your comments down below. Everybody's different, right? A quick musical interlude for you. I dug out this one from The Boss. Born in the USA. People give this album a bit of a bad rap, but there's some good tunes on there. I think that people were experimenting a little bit with the production on some of Bruce's records around this period. But the title track and Dancing in the Dark are superb tunes. I think a little bit of a template for the war on drugs, actually. Certainly in terms of drum machine sounds and some of the synth sounds that are used on some of these tracks on Born in the USA. So certainly want to check out, perhaps if you haven't delved into some of Bruce's, or The Boss as he's known, into his back catalogue. Thanks for watching through to the very end, guys. I do appreciate it. If you're a new viewer or you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications of when new videos are launched, and give this video a thumbs up like. Share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you